This is my 4-inch Criterion boring head. I've only showed it one time in a video, but we never used it. And I showed it because I was putting R8 adapter on it, and I found out that the R8 adapter was actually bent. So this hasn't been used since I was in my old shop down the road. What I'm going to do is get it set up so that I could use it on the K&T. This is the adapter that used to be on it, and I just chucked it up and skimped this OD where the pipe wrench has been on there a few times and really chowdered it up and just kind of polished it up, cleaned it up. It runs nice and true though. I cleaned the face up there and then I stoned this face. After I faced it, I drilled that hole in it. I'm going to use this spanner wrench. There's the hole. There we go. I'm going to get a little knocker right here. That should be all it needs. So now I can put this in a collet or an 1.25" end mill holder. Alright, so we're getting back on the main body of the parking attachment, and I got a couple more milling ops that I want to do. This is the side that I've already milled, but I just kind of stuck them together, welded it, so I want to go ahead and make sure this is nice and straight. And we're going to do that right here. I'll talk about that in a second. This is the side that I want to put a radius in there. I want to cope it so that whenever I machine the 2.5-inch diameter tube that'll get welded on here, it'll fit in there. It'll fit in there nice, and then we can weld it all up. So we're going to use an 1.25" end mill holder right here in the spindle. For this side right here, I'm going to use an end mill, and that lot of end mills that I just recently got from my friend Kevin. This is one of the end mills that was in the package. This is an 1.25" shank, and I haven't taken it all off yet, so I'm about to peel all this stuff off to reveal a never used end mill. It's possible this was actually a regrind. I don't know until I measure it, but it's still sharp as new. So we'll put that in here and then we'll mill this one side. Alright, I measured the cutter, and this is a regrind. It's about 1 inch 2/15 is what it measures. And I cleaned the shank off there, got the dirtiness off of it. Alright, I went ahead and got everything kind of in position because I wanted to make sure that everything was going to clear back here. So we're good to go. And we're just going to touch the part, and we'll move it up and just take a light cut. It should work out pretty good and be nice and rigid. That's, let's see, I'm running, got it in 168 RPM. I'm going to feed it in 10 thousandths. Chatter on it, huh? Let me slow it down. Last time we used a big mill like that, it did beautiful. I'm wondering if that has something to do with that grind. I know whenever I was feeling it, it sort of had like a rolled edge on it. I'm feeding it in a little, trying to get it off the end of that cutter. Can't go very much further. That seems to be helping though. Yeah, so it did better once I moved in off the end of the cutter there. We pushed the table in that way. Oh, it's fine. It's just a little bit of surface difference on it from the chatter. I think we'll just leave well enough alone, all right? I believe it was Richard Cardine that gave me these tubes. They had the Magnum Sharpies in them. Man, it's really stuck on there. Well, I found a good use for them as I use these cutters like this, especially it's only been used one time now. I guess you could pack the ends just a little bit with something to keep them from moving around, but great use of those tubes right there. This is a piece of 2x4 steel tubing. This side's already been faced off. So what I want to do is I'm going to chuck this up, indicate it, and I'm going to bore it. I'm going to use this as a setting ring for my boring head. I want my boring head at 2.5 inches, cutting a 2.5 inch circle. So I'm going to bore this out to say, let's take it to 2.475, and then I'm going to set this in the mill over there, and we'll center up on it on the spindle, and then we'll set our boring head to it and make a little light cut, set it right on 2.5 inches. Alright, you see that that's just a rough stock bore. That's not a nice round bore through there, so we've got her pretty close. Alright, within about 2,000ths each way, so good to go. And I'll go ahead and we'll face that off too. Take a couple 200,000th passes. take a last cut on this thing. 426, 427. I'm gonna back it off 5,000. Just take 45. I went ahead and faced the back side of that. I flipped it around and faced it off, so we had two nice faces there, and got it clamped in here. So what we're going to do, I'm going to use my coaxial indicator to find the center of this, and then once we find the center, I'll reinstall the boring head here, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get it cut and set to 2.5 inches. There's a little adapter that I have. I've got a few of these, 1.25 inch shank here, and it reduces it down. I've got 3/8 half. I've got a few of them. I don't remember all the sizes, but I got a few. So anyway, we're going to use a 3/8. Doesn't need much, it's just for the coaxial. Just barely snugged out. Okay, we're inside the bore there. I'll go ahead and kick the spindle on so we can see about what we're at. That's not good. I didn't notice when I put that in there and moved it out if that needle was moving, but we got a bad indicator, guys. All right, let me figure out another plan here. I might have a backup that I can use. Okay, this is one that was given to me by a viewer a while back by the name of Mike, but I don't recall Mike's last name. But this is still a good coax right here. I had to do some straightening on this piece right here. It was bent a little bit, so I got it straightened up. So let's see if this one will work. Go ahead and... Well, it looks like it's a different shank. 10 millimeter. Man. Some days you just get challenged, don't you? I'm not going to have anything 10 millimeter except for a drill chuck, so I guess that's going to be the quickest. Let's see, I can't remember if those TG collets close up. Maybe I can go find a collet. So I will bring you back as soon as I have this figured out. All right, 3/4 mil holder. Got a drill chuck there. One of the things that I need to do is I want to get a 50 taper, maybe a couple of them for a couple different size drill chucks. Get the 50 taper with the Jacobs taper made onto it for this kind of stuff here. I just haven't made it that far yet. All right, let's give this a try again. Alright, first time I've been into this little set right here. Let's see, looks like everything's in here. There we go. We might be able to... Alright, so there's another surprise right there. No threads. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is in the box. Let's see. Mine's not like that. I think this is broke. Maybe. Okay. There we go. All right. Well, let me get you a better shot and see if we can get this thing indicated. I'm just adjusting the knee and then the table. Try to get that needle run 0. Wrong way. There we go. So you just, I was adjusting the knee up and down and then moving the hand wheel here side to side until we get that needle to run 0. So here's a tool bit that I kind of, it was already kind of ground and I touched it up. Put some relief on there, touched up all the sides, ground the chip breaker a little bit more, so that should have a nice positive cut. So I'm going to go ahead and stick it in here. And I'm going to bring the table in. I just want to try to get it out there as far as I can. Go with that. Oh, baby. All right, I've already got the lock loose, so we can move this sucker on over. Unfortunately, I can't really, let me see something. Let me just shut this thing off. Yeah. Try something else. I think if you put it in a high gear. There we go. All right, put it in high gear. There we go. Now I can move it. Should be right there at it. All right. I'm touching there. So on the dial here, I'm going to go another 10 thousandths. And then I'm going to lock it up, and then I'll turn everything on and we'll make a cut, okay? And we're going to get a little chatter because of this bar here. I mean, we got a lot of stick out there. That's a fast feed. Let me start that over. I didn't realize I had it going that fast. All I want to do is just get it set really close to 2.5, and then we're going to use that to machine our radius on the end of our plate over here. $475. I didn't take very much. I got 25 thousandths. So here's the setup, guys. I'm working on it now. We're going to use this angle plate here, and I'm going to use those big clamps to clamp the block up. So I've got the bottom side squared, which we just did, you know, using the end mill. So this will be nice and square to the bottom. Everything should be nice and square. So we got the bar set on to the radius that we want. So what we'll do is, once we clamp this, I've got to indicate it straight. We'll find the center of the plate, and we'll put the bar back in here, and I'll just take a series of cuts, a little at a time, until I get. We're going to remove about a 1/2 inch. I got my notes over there on what I wanted this length to be, and I added, I believe, a 1/2 inch to this end right here. So we'll be taking about a 1/2 inch off of this end, and that's what we're going to use the bar for. What I really wanted to try to do is use a cutter like this on the mandrel, the arbor, I mean, and come across it like that very lightly, taking some cuts and remove it. But I don't have a cutter that's the proper diameter and heavy enough to be able to take a cut like that. So that's why I ended up doing this route right here. But this should work pretty good, and it's been fun. So let's go ahead and get this indicated. First thing I'll do, if you get it really quick, is use a square butt against the edge of the table here. This will usually put you within a few thousandths. So just eyeballing that line, that looks pretty close there. Now we'll run up and use our indicator. Alright, so let's see, that's on one. Getting a little bit of flex there. Cover's not wanting to cooperate either. Alright, that's showing about a 1/2 thousandth from end to end right there, so that's square enough, guys. Got it kind of flush back here with the edge of the angle plate, and I set it this way to where it would be sitting on this edge and not over in this valley. And we've got just the right amount of room here. Our stared edge finder. So we're just going to call it 2.5. That's about what it is. Okay, so we'll set our, on our, let's see, we're going to move X, I'm sorry. I was thinking Y for a second. X, so we're going to move 1.25 inches plus another 1/4 inch for the edge finder, so we'll move 1.5 inches. Alrighty. Okay, the total end-to-end length of the center section, I wanted it 10 3/4, and so we're at 11 1/4 now, thereabouts. So as I said before, we got about a 1/2 inch to come off this. So I'm just going to touch off, and I'm going to make some cuts and see how everything performs. I'm hoping maybe I could take an 1/8 inch a pass, but I don't know, maybe too much for this bar. Alright, it's touching there. And run it back. Alright, I'm gonna use my readout up here, 0RZ. So let me try 1/8 of an inch and see how it does. Feed in, so we should be coming up to it here. I'm bringing it up by hand so I know. All right, I'm gonna zero out my Y so I know that's my start point every time. All right, here we go. Yeah, it ain't liking that too much, is it? It's doing okay. I did some tightening down here on the tables to try to get any kind of slack out of it here. I think that'll work. Alright, I got a Z or a knee lock right here, and I come over here and I lock this. I could see that it was trying to wiggle just a little bit there with that pressure, that cut, so it's got it tightened up nice now. Nice and solid. That boring bar worked out just the right length that I needed to where I can clear the 6-inch cut and then still clear the boring head here. And that's a nice, good quality boring bar. It's one of those hardened steel bars. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna stop the feed. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to time it. Okay, that's good enough. We can move it back here. I don't want to rapid it because I've got it all the way on the very back of the limit here. So I just manually come back and stop. I feel it there. Yeah, we got a nice cut there. It's got a nice smooth finish to it, but I can make it better even with a slower feed rate. But so we're doing pretty good. I'm gonna keep it at that. And I just showed you that lock right there, and I've got another one right there also. And I usually don't ever think about locking that knee, but I think that I just figured something out. You know, all this cutting that I've done so far on this machine, there's been times where I get a little bit of chatter in these cuts. Could possibly be because I didn't have those locked down there. So that's something that I'm gonna have to keep in mind and remember whenever I'm doing some heavy cutting. Go ahead and lock those knee clamps over there. So let's reset. We'll take 1/8 of an inch. Now we're gonna go to 1/4 of an inch and do it again. Alright guys, we're still doing good. My tool bit ain't nothing wrong with it. It's still just as sharp as when I honed it. Alright, reset for one more cut. We'll be up to a 3/8 on this one. Okay, I'm down to my final cuts here. I need to take about another 1/8 of an inch. What I want to do is I want to back off and make it in 2 cuts. I'm getting just a slight amount of, I don't know what that would be. As the tool is coming out, it looks like chatter on this side right here. That's where a chip got stuck under the bar and drug right there. But I'm gonna take a 1/16 and make a pass, and then see how that looks and do a final measurement, and then we'll make one more finished cut. I changed my mind. This is going to be my finished cut here. I didn't have as much as I thought I did. I put my scale in there, and I had just over a 1/16 that I need to come out of there, so I just took a 1/16, and everything's looking fine. So this will be our final pass. Alrighty guys, we're just about to the end here. Everything's looking good. There we go. And I'll do a quick measurement here to where we wanted it. It's like 10 3/4 to me. Get this cleaned up, do some deburring, and I'll be back. All right, here's a piece of 2.5 tubing just to kind of represent what we're doing right there. And it fits in there nice. So whenever I make this piece right here, on the top side, this will be the top right here. It's going to be flush with the top. That's how the original's made. It goes all the way across. So what I want to do, let me get you around here so you can see. I've got another tool bit that I ground. Actually, I just flipped it around and ground that side. I'm going to come in and I'm just going to machine a weld prep right there. And whenever I weld all this on, most of my weld's going to be right here, all the heavy welding. So I'm just going to put a small one here and just blend that in with my TIG welder so that it'll be nice and smooth right there. All right, I had to kind of get this tool bit set on the proper radius there, so I got it set in there now, and I think that'll work just like it is. Just need a little bit. It's probably gonna shake and chatter some. Make sure I had that tool tight. Too bad, actually. I think that's going to be enough right there. Yeah, I think that'll be enough. It's starting to get too wide of a cut. It's wanting to chatter on me.